Welcome to another video session on fluid kinematics. So we are continuing our discussion related to various topics under fluid kinematics. In the previous video session we discussed about streamlines, various flow patterns of streamlines, and now we will discuss about the rotational flow and how to express this rotational flow vectors or rotation vectors along the three Cartesian coordinate systems. And after that we will introduce two important fluid flow functions known as stream function and velocity potential function, and we will discuss about the flow nets also and the basic equations governing a streamline as well as velocity potential line, namely stream function as well as velocity potential function will be introduced and discussed in detail. So first we start with rotational flow. So in one of the earlier video sessions we had introduced what is meant by a rotational flow. So let me repeat, rotational flow represents fluid particles are rotating about its mass centers while they are flowing from one location or one position to another position. Okay, so we normally come across such flow in boundary layers. So that is why we normally term boundary layer flow as an example of rotational flow. So then how to express this rotation vector? So as I already told, generally viscous flows, highly viscous flows are termed as rotational flow, or boundary layer flow means flow inside a small thick layer of fluid which is adjacent to the solid boundary, where the viscosity components are highly predominant and the flow is highly viscous, or it is exhibiting high viscous resistance. So flow inside a boundary layer we normally term as a rotational flow. Okay, then how do we represent this rotational flow, or what are the characteristics of the rotational flow? So if you take a linear flow or movement of fluid particles in the linear direction, we say that it has got a linear velocity both in terms of magnitude and direction. So similarly for the rotational flow, there is rotation of the fluid particle about its mass center. So definitely it will be having an angular velocity. We have already discussed this or hinted this in one of the video lectures. There is an angular velocity. So this, how do we represent this angular velocity vector? So that is shown here. This angular velocity vector is represented by the symbol omega. Okay, so omega is a rotation vector. So it has got three components in Cartesian coordinate system: omega x, omega y, and omega z. Okay, so now if omega x equal to y equal to z equal to 0, that means there is no rotation. Okay, particles, there is no rotation. So such type of flow is normally termed as potential flow or irrotational flow or inviscid flow. Fully potential flows are generally termed as inviscid flows. So you should know the categorization. Viscosity or viscous flow refers to rotational flow generally, and inviscid flow or potential flow refers to irrotational flow. So this is a general classification. And now how to estimate this rotation vectors? So as I already told, the rotation vectors have got three components: omega x, omega y, and omega z. So consider a three-dimensional flow case. Okay, if the rotation of the fluid particle is happening in the xy plane, then the direction of the rotation vector will be in along the z line or z axis, which is perpendicular to the xy plane. So if the rotation is in the xy plane, definitely we have the component of rotation along the z axis. Similarly, if rotation is in the yz plane, that is shown here, then the component of the rotation vector is along x-axis, that is shown as omega x. Similarly, if rotation is along in the yz plane, the rotation vector is along y-axis, that is represented as omega y. Then how do we represent mathematically omega x, omega y, and omega z? Okay, so omega z, you see this, it is defined as 1 by 2 into dou v by dou x minus dou u by dou y. Omega x, it is 1 by 2 into dou w. W is the velocity component along z direction. So dou w by dou y minus dou v by dou z. Omega y is 1 by 2 into dou u by dou z minus dou w by dou x. So generally these rotation vectors are differential of the velocities with respect to the space coordinates. Okay, differential of velocities u, v, w with respect to space coordinate x, y and z. First differential, that is shown here, dou v by dou x minus dou u by dou y, etc. So how can we write these equations, omega z, omega x and omega y, very easily? So there is a small technique for this. Suppose you need to find equation for omega x. Okay, omega x. So we write like this. On the top you have the space coordinates x, y, z. Then again you write x, y, and at the bottom you write the corresponding component velocities u, w, u, v, w, then u, w. So corresponding space coordinates and velocities you write one at the top, one at the bottom. And suppose you want to find out the rotation along the x-axis. Okay, rotation along the x-axis means what is that? Omega x. So the rotation is happening in the y-z plane. If omega x we want to find out, the rotation is happening in the y-z plane. So you consider this y-z plane. So y and z. Okay, you border it like this. Then from the top left position to the bottom right position you draw a arrow. You draw an arrow. Okay, so what does it represents? It represents dou w divided by dou y. Okay, that is written here. First dou w divided by dou y, and next arrow is pointing towards the top right position from the bottom left position. So what does it represent? Dou v divided by dou z. So here it is written dou v divided by dou z. So this is an easy way of expressing mathematically the various rotation vectors. So similarly, if you want to find out omega z, okay, this is omega z, you take the remaining two components x and y. So you can draw first arrow like this and second arrow like this. So it will be dou v by dou x minus dou u by dou y. That is written over here. Dou v by dou x minus dou u by dou y divided by 2, whole divided by 2. So why I am showing this is an easy method of representing mathematically the rotation vectors. And now we'll discuss two very important functions representing a fluid flow. So the functions are known as, one is stream function, other one is velocity potential function. So essentially the stream function is the equation of a streamline. Okay, similarly velocity potential function is the equation of a potential function or velocity potential function. Okay, and now actually what are the stream functions and velocity potential functions? How this can be defined? These two are nothing but the first derivative of the velocities. Okay, so it is written over here, functions such that their differential, they are first derivative of with respect to the space coordinate. The functions such that their differential with respect to space coordinates give the velocity of the fluid particle. That means if you are differentiating stream function as well as velocity potential function with respect to space coordinates means x, y and z, you will be getting the velocity of the fluid particle. The velocity may not be exactly the velocity in that particular direction, but maybe in the other directions also. So we can discuss it more. So stream function is represented using the symbol psi. Okay, this is symbol psi, and the velocity potential function using the symbol phi. So psi and phi are the respective terminologies. And stream function, it is defined like this. That is, if you are differentiating stream function with respect to x, it gives a velocity in the y direction. Okay, And if you are differentiating with respect to y, it gives a velocity in the x direction. That is dou psi by dou x, it is giving velocity in the y direction, that is v. Similarly, dou psi by dou y, it is giving velocity in the x direction. Okay, then how to define the velocity potential function? It is defined in the other way, that is differential or derivative in any direction will give the velocity of the fluid in that direction. So let us make it more clear. Dou phi by dou y, that is differential with respect to y direction, is giving velocity in the x direction, that is u equal to dou psi by dou y. Similarly, v equal to minus dou psi by dou x. So minus dou psi by dou x is the differential of stream function with respect to x coordinates. Alright, then it is giving the velocity along the y direction. Of course, there is a negative symbol also. Similarly, how can we define the stream function? U equal to dou phi by dou x, v equal to dou phi by dou y. So differential with respect to space coordinates giving the respective velocities. Okay, then in mathematics we know what is total differential. Total differential of any function, that is, for example, if you take total differential of stream function, that is d psi. D psi is dou psi by dou x into dx plus dou psi by dou y into dy. We know this mathematical relation, but what is dou psi by dou x? As per this equation, it is minus v. So minus v dx. What is dou psi by dou y? It is u as per the definition of stream function. So you will be getting d psi equal to minus v dx plus u dy. Similarly, if you are taking total differential of phi, d phi, you are getting dou phi by dou x into dx plus dou phi by dou y into dy. That is equal to u dx plus v dy as per the definition of velocity potential function. So equation of a streamline is called a stream function. So what does it represent? Stream function equal to constant. It is the equation of a particular streamline. So each streamline has got its own equations. That is written here. Psi equal to constant along a particular streamline. You know how to represent an equation corresponds to a line or a curve. Y square equal to 4ax, it is the equation of a parabola. Y equal to mx plus c, that is an equation of a straight line. Similarly, along the streamline, psi is constant, or first derivative of psi is 0. D psi is 0. So d psi is 0 means what? What is d psi? D psi is minus v dx plus u dy. That is 0. Okay, minus v dx plus dy equal to 0. That means what? From this equation, dy by dx will be equal to v by u. What is dy by dx? We know that dy by dx is slope of a line which is drawn on xy plane. Okay, then similarly, lines with constant velocity potential are called potential lines or equipotential lines. They are either called potential lines or equipotential lines. So proceeding in the same way, what is the equation of potential line? Phi equal to constant, or along the potential line phi is a constant, or dy equal to 0, d phi equal to 0, or v dx plus u dy equal to 0. So you get slope of the potential line as dy by dx equal to minus u by v. So slope of the streamline is v by u. Slope of the potential line is minus u by v. Okay, so this is our definition of stream function, definition of velocity potential function, and how these can be expressed mathematically and what are its importances. And now we'll prove an important concept, that is orthogonality of streamlines and potential lines. Orthogonality, you know, if two lines are orthogonal, means they are perpendicular to each other. So if they are perpendicular to each other means what? Slope, product of the slopes of the two perpendicular lines are minus 1. Okay, that we know. The slope of x-axis multiplied by slope of y-axis will be minus 1. So similarly, if two lines are orthogonal or perpendicular, if you multiply the slopes of the respective lines, you will be getting the product minus 1. So that is a proof, or that is proving that the streamlines and potential lines are orthogonal, because what is the slope of the streamline? We have already found out. It is the previous slide. You just see what is the slope of the streamline. It is v by u. Similarly, that of potential line minus u by v. Okay, so slope of streamline is v by u. Similarly, slope of potential line is dy by dx equal to minus u by v. So if you are taking the product of the slopes, you will get v by u multiplied by minus u by v, that is minus 1. That means what? Streamlines and potential lines are orthogonal, or they are forming a flow net. It is an orthogonal system of lines. Orthogonal system of lines are generally termed as a flow net. Okay, so we'll discuss about the various configurations of flow nets in the next slide. So what I have just said is that a set of streamlines and a set of potential lines will form a flow net since they are perpendicular. And we know the continuity equation in 3 dimensions. We had introduced the continuity equation, which is nothing but the law of conservation of mass. So that represents a possible case of fluid flow. That means if the flow has to happen, the continuity equation has to be satisfied. And we had introduced the equation. We had derived the equation for the continuity equation: dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by dou z equal to 0. It is a continuity equation in 3-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system. So if you are substituting for u and v, see u and v, because we are referring to surface flows. Surface flows means only 2-dimensional flow. So we have only 2 dimensions, u and v. So we don't consider the 3rd dimension. Okay, so u is dou phi by dou x, because the velocity potential function is defined like u equal to dou phi by dou x. Similarly, v equal to dou phi by dou y, where phi is the velocity potential function. So if you are substituting for u and v in the equation of continuity, you get dou by dou x of u, or dou by dou x of dou phi by dou x, that is dou square phi by dou x square, plus dou by dou y of v, or dou by dou y of dou phi by dou y, or dou square phi by dou y square. Okay, so that should be 0, because for continuity equation, dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y equal to 0, considering 2 dimensions. So the velocity potential function should satisfy the Laplace equation. Which is a Laplace equation? This is a Laplace equation for phi. Okay, so dou square phi by dou x square plus dou square phi by dou y square is a Laplace equation for the function phi. So the Laplace equation should be satisfied by the velocity potential function for a possible case of fluid flow. We will discuss also this flow nets. Already we have seen what is a flow net. This is formed by a set of perpendicular lines, streamlines and potential lines. So in 2-dimensional flow, it represents a complete visual picture of a flow pattern. Okay, so what is the equation for potential line? Phi equal to constant. The equation for streamline, psi equal to constant. So it represents flow net, which are nothing but a visual representation of the flow system or the flow pattern. You see in this figure, in this flow net, you can see the streamlines. Okay, these are streamlines, the curved lines. This is phi equal to constant, phi equal to another constant, psi equal to another constant. And perpendicular, you have velocity function phi equal to constant, phi equal to constant. So for each value of psi there is a streamline. For each value of phi there is an equipotential line. And now some of the other patterns also, you see these oval, it actually represents equipotential lines. Then these are the flow lines or streamlines. They are perpendicular to each other. For your better understanding, you see red lines that may represent streamlines. Then perpendicular lines are blue lines, which are equipotential lines. Similarly, the flow around a ball. Okay, it's a highly viscous flow. The flow around a ball, you see the streamline pattern around it. Then these are the streamline patterns, psi equal to constant. Then perpendicular to that you have the potential functions or potential lines. So they also form a flow net with mutually perpendicular curves. So such two-dimensional irrotational flows can be studied by constructing such flow nets. Okay, thank you.